Hi there, welcome back. My name is Miek Bolger, and this is a series based on Ask the Mortgage Professional. I have Zach DeJong from the Mortgage Center joining me. We have a few call-ins, a couple questions from some of my clients that I've loved to hear, and I always love seeking expert advice, and that's why I have Zach here to help me out. One of the questions that has come in is just how difficult it is to housing affordability. That's a huge subject for politics, real estate, everybody's day-to-day. You always hear questions about this, where 5 years ago, the price of a house was half the price it is now. So with all those diligent people out there, they were saving diligently, and now they've finally made up their $100,000 down payment for their dream house, and they get their life started and kick that rental check that goes to the investor and not towards your nest egg. It's unfortunate that you can't afford to buy your house anymore, because now that $100,000 is supposed to be a 20 to 25% down payment, but now it's only down to the average house close to just over 10%. So we're looking to Zach to give us some advice on what we really need to do and to give us the hard facts.
Definitely. When it comes to, say, a first-time home buyer, something to consider is your income. You know, it's not really going as far as it used to, the average income being around 50, 60,000. That's not going to take you as far as it used to. Going back, 5, 6, 7 years ago, you could look at a lot more options. So first, I would think about what you want to live in first. Really be specific about that. That's going to give you a price point to start at. And then when you come in with your down payment, something to also consider would be to have a backup plan of maybe a co-signer or a guarantor to come in with you just for those first few years while you're building up your career.
Or the bank of mom and dad.
Bank of mom and dad. Yeah, that's also reserved to us. That. Yeah. That's going to help you just qualify for more. And then down the road, as your career advances and you start making some more money and also rates come down, there's the potential of having them removed at a later date. But just to initially get in, it's definitely something to consider when you're talking to your mortgage broker to potentially have that backup plan should you need it.
Oh, that's great advice, because that's exactly what I did. I sacrificed a few extra dishes and a few extra chores to get my dad and mother to sign on to my mortgage. My plan was to, and this is obviously something to think about for refinancing or when you get your first house, I'm a huge fan of sweat equity. So I bought a house that was very dated and needed a lot of work to it. I got my hands dirty. I renovated the whole house, and then I refinanced it right after I was done then, and I pulled my dad off of the mortgage, and that's a great way to do it, I'd say, for sure as well.
Absolutely. It's a good option for getting in. That's for sure. And increase
two things you got to do is you got to have a little bit of sweat equity, and you got to be able to get those puppy eyes back out to mom and dad to ask them for some help. I think that's the right call.
I think it's a good call.
Lowering your standards and not being able to sacrifice to buy the house, that needs some work to it. The hard truth is that you just don't deserve the house that looks like your parents already. I remember being a kid and some of the lights wouldn't work for a couple months on end. So, and there was lots of hamburger helper that my dad could screw up. I don't know how, but the instructions are right on it. So there is a struggle point of getting into the real estate market. It is one of the best and biggest investments of your life. And I think that's just what you need to realize, is that you can't buy your dream house right out of the gate. You got to walk before you learn how to run, right? So
absolutely,
I think that's the best thing you can do here. Once again, we'll be back with a little bit more questions once we hit the telephone lines. But thanks again for joining me. Miek Bolger, Chestnut Park West, and Zach DeJong from the Mortgage Center. If you have any more questions, feel free to call us anytime, and we'll help you out anytime we're available. Thanks again.